If you study some of the best dressed men, past and present, you will notice they do a few things very differently from everyone else. And today I'm going to break down 3 of those habits so you can start to apply them to your own outfits and instantly improve your style. Habit number 1. Accessorize wisely. Now, most people treat accessories like an afterthought, something optional that's a nice to have, but it's not really essential. But in reality, once you have a solid foundation, accessories really help to take your outfits from good to great. And they are also one of the easiest and most affordable ways to add character and personality to your outfits. Daniel Baraka is a master at accessorizing. His outfits are always creative and interesting, but you'll also notice that he uses accessories very wisely. He usually incorporates an interesting belt, maybe an interesting bag, sunglasses, or also jewelry. And to really illustrate this point, let's start with a very simple basic outfit. I have a pair of dark jeans, a black t-shirt, and black penny loafers. It's fine as is, but if we just add a couple of accessories, it immediately becomes more interesting. One option could be to add an interesting belt, maybe with a bit of texture as well, which is why I went with a braided belt in black suede. This already makes the entire outfit look more interesting, but of course I could also add a watch to this outfit, I could add a pair of sunglasses, and also different kinds of bags. Now, with a casual outfit like this, I think tote bags are one of the best options, and I could go with a more refined tote bag like this here in suede. It's by Bleu de Chauve, and it instantly elevates this outfit. But I could go with a more rugged option as well, for example canvas, and for this I have this navy tote bag also by Bleu de Chauve, and I think this also really fits with the overall color of this look. This demonstrates that just adding a few accessories can really enhance your outfits. And the same is also true for your formal looks, because you can pick interesting ties, you can pick pocket squares with an interesting pattern, and you can choose a beautiful briefcase. So keep in mind to accessorize wisely. Habit number 2 is that they have a deep understanding of fit. If you observe the best dressed men from past and present, you will notice that they really understand what fits them well, and they steer away from anything that doesn't fit their body type. Because it sounds almost like a cliche, but fit is still king. It's probably one of the, if not the most important element of style. Because you could have the most expensive items in your wardrobe. If they don't properly fit you, they don't really do anything. To illustrate this point, let's go back to my previous example and let's swap out the trousers for a pair that doesn't fit me as well. The jeans before were pretty much the perfect fit for my body type. They're medium to high rise, they're relatively straight, and they have a relatively wide leg opening. However, this pair of jeans is more of a low rise jeans, and it's also slightly too slim. And in my opinion also it could be a little bit longer as well. I think it's already obvious from the front, but especially when I turn to the side, you can really spot the difference. Of course, I cannot go over all the different details of fit in this video, but as a simple guideline, keep in mind that when you have a very slim body type, you can go with slimmer fits and also more straight fits, but stay away from really skinny fits and overly wide fits. However, if you're a little bit bigger, this could be very muscular, or maybe you have a wider midsection or wider hips or bigger thighs. In that case, you want to go for straight fit trousers because you want to avoid a V shape in your lower body, which is typically not the most flattering look. There's a great video on fit by Justin Kwan. I will leave a link in the description below. And habit number 3 is to incorporate one statement piece in your outfits. What do I mean by a statement piece? Typically, it's the most dominant item in your outfit and something that's unique, that slightly stands out, and it makes your outfit look more interesting. That doesn't have to mean that it has to be super flamboyant. It can also just be a simple navy wool overcoat that has a wider lapel and also a long fit. Because if you work in a formal office environment and you show up with a coat like this, in comparison to most modern coats, which are quite short and slim, nobody would say that this is a very flamboyant or over-the-top item, but it definitely counts as a statement piece. That's why some of the best statement pieces you can get would be in your outerwear. That could be different kinds of military jackets, it could be interesting overcoats, especially if they are longer and they have a nice and wide collar or lapel. That's going to make them look much more interesting. If we take the previous example again, and we just add an interesting overcoat, you can see that it immediately transforms the outfit. But a statement piece doesn't only have to be outerwear. You could also add an interesting pair of trousers or an interesting pair of shoes as well. This is something again that you see many times with Daniel Baraka or also with Angel Ramos. So in my example outfit, I could also add an interesting pair of shoes. The one that I have right here is by Crown Northampton. It's a pair of Belgian loafers, but as you can see, it also has a really interesting pattern. But because the rest of the shoe is in a solid color, this helps to make the shoe look interesting without looking overly flamboyant. And I think as a statement piece, it really enhances the outfit and it adds something interesting and unique. Gentlemen, those were the 3 habits. Accessorize wisely, understand your fit, and incorporate statement pieces. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you next week.